Madre mía. Capítulo 6. Cthulhu. El Kraken del Underworld.
Uy, qué ojazos.
Who goes there? That nightmare again.
Sí, sí.
I need a drink.
Pesadilla. Qué bonito, ¿no? Ah, coño. Estamos ahí de vuelta en la mansión esta y está hablando ahí con la señora esta.
Es una mansión de Bartoli, ¿no?
Muy bonito. La siguiente zona no es muy larga. Tío, necesitaría recargar el farol. Creo que había aquí algo. Supuestamente. La voy a ver por aquí.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colton have to say about all this.
Depende de lo que tardes en el final. Pero ¿cuánto queda? Queda poco juego, ¿eh?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
No, nada de día no. Bastante ya lo que estás viendo, como para encima de echar tragos.
¿Este qué capítulo era?
¿Este es el 6? Creo que sí.
El 6. Pues todavía no van a ir por la mitad.
Vale. Son unos 15, dice.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your
14,
disappearance to
según
the force,
estoy viendo aquí en la
that'll
guía.
come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
¿Qué ha ocurrido? ¿Qué no ha ocurrido? Sarah Hawkins era el objetivo de una secta. Puede que haya encontrado una pista. Hablar con él. Hablar con Bradley. Lo que me hiciera. A ver. Este no deja. Porque necesito tener más nivel de eso otro.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of
Hola,
course, he's a
Olita.
patient.
Hola, Sagrada.
Was. I
Hola.
haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
Lo llamó el vagabundo. Le dio una especie de ataque.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Si vamos prudente, es mejor afrontar la verdad. Venga, prudente.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well.
Esto afectará
I'll
a tu
go to see
destino.
Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Pues has llegado en un momento así tranquilito porque vamos, en el anterior nivel estaba yo ya de los nervios. Menos mal que me ha
Sí,
ido
has
guiando.
pasado...
Sí.
Sí,
Lo has visto.
sí, has pasado una parte guay.
The other night's events are still confused in my head. The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Vale. Pues vamos a ver. Salir, pero es que... Y tengo el candil el farolillo ahí sin aceite.
Habrás conocido al guarda, ¿no?
A ver.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband, his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may.
Adelante.
However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That
Hostia.
is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here.
Hombre. La cat.
You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Irene.
Very well, Miss Baker.
Irene.
This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been
Estoy de acuerdo
allowed to see
con
him
Raz.
since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack?
Que se estaba delante. Su muerte dice murió gritando delante de mí y me marché antes de que ocurriese. Se lo está tomando muy bien. Me marché antes de que ocurriese mi mente, porque es que si no me funa.
We had a short conversation and then I left. I don't know what happened after that.
Oh, I see. Mr. Pierce, you must forgive my audaciousness, but I've had practice of life in high society for over 30 years. Reading one's interlocutors, recognizing the politeness of a lie, are things that are taught very early to young girls from a good family. But your lie has nothing polite about it. It is crass, insulting, and dare I say, terribly
Un
suspicious.
poco,
Sí.
Try to understand my position. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute. And right before your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
El culpable es Fuller.
yo creo que le va el pelo a rosca.
Joder.
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to
Oy.
receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Le habló de un vagabundo, de que conoce a Sir Hawkins, eso ya lo sé. ¿Qué hace Kat aquí? Le habló de vagabundo.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
Vaya a verlo.
It is
¿Dónde
my
lo
only
tiene aquí?
lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Hola, pues vamos a ver el cuadro. Momento.
Oh, it's wonderful, Irene.
Hombre, Thor, ¿qué
The
tal?
day the Shambler came into the Sanders
Hola.
lives.
Irene.
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 Es Irene.
Irene.
No es Irene, es Irene.
Bueno, espérate, que te lo buscar en el Google Translator, ¿eh?
En el Google.
Did she really care for him after
Sí.
all?
A ver cómo dice. Irene, es Irene.
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 Madre mía, qué blancura. ¡Ah! ¡Qué ciego!
La visión
Empezar a
blanca.
luz, Caroline.
¡Ha desaparecido! ¡Ah!
Hola, Irene. Hola, Irene.
A ver.
Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Pues bien. A ver, ¿dónde más? Al piano.
A house of artists.
Oh,
A house of
piano.
artists.
Una casa de artistas. Muy bien. ¿Qué más? ¿Se puede ir por ahí? A ver, aquí.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Que no quería vender la pintura. Y le convenció para vendérsela, ¿no?
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
Claro, no se ve, porque no, como no sabe cómo es, no se ve bien.
Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
Tenía celos.
She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel?
A ver. ¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Por qué ha gritado?
No sé, yo lo.
¡Hostia!
Diferido, directo.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
El vagabundo.
¿Y la dama?
Ahí,
Ah, ya está
sentadita.
sentada, mírala. A ver, un momento antes de eso, a ver si hay algo más por aquí.
Ah, la Irene. Vale.
Vale, la puerta esa. Está cerrada.
¿Y la señorita Ceci esa de antes? ¿Dónde está?
La Cat ha dicho que en el despacho, creo. En el despacho del marido.
Let's see what this cylinder has
Una
to say
grabación
once it's
dejada
inserted
por
in the
Francis
phonograph.
Sanders para su esposa. Cilindro, cuando lo ponga en un fonógrafo. Oh. O sea, lo has cogido, sí. Pues aquí.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids.
Madre.
Each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Cilindro. Vale, aquí se puede escuchar otra vez, ¿no? Y... A ver, WS. Aquí no hace nada. Es como que el otro cilindro...
Irene, I made a mistake.
Pues eso
I
es que habrá
fear
algún
that it
otro.
might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Maybe I might do.
Ahí está la cat.
Te está esperando en el cuarto oscuro.
Un poco,
¡Hala!
poco oscuro.
Qué atrevida.
Está a penumbras.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Hostia.
I could use one of those. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting. To
Cogiendo la
finally
palomita
give
que
it
va a
away
pasar.
for nothing. An old diary.
Madre mía, cuántas cosas hay. A ver, señora, ¿hablamos? Espera, esto antes. Leería el
Habla
libro.
con ella, que está muy sola.
Leer el libro. Logro. Más allá de la realidad. Una especie de enciclopedia de criaturas monstruosas y desconocidas. Empieza a pensar que existen. ¡Hostia! ¿Qué ha pasado? Ah, que afectará tu destino. A ver,
That's
señora.
twice you've stepped on my toes, detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Esta tía
Some
siempre
can
está
be
en
more
borde.
fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Debo verificar las pinturas para un comprador. No. Otra pintura de Sarah Hawkins. No he venido a crear problemas. No es asunto suyo. No he venido a crear problemas.
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
Muy bien. Porque si le digo lo otro, igual se pone a borde. Bueno, no, venga, va.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network, and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
Sí, sí, súper agradable.
Es su manera de seducir a los hombres.
Una llave de la galería
Siendo
de los Andes.
una borde.
Ya. Y ahora podemos por aquí. Uy, aquí hay para esconderse, ¿por qué? ¿También hay que hacer sigilo aquí? No creo, ¿no?
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Mira todo, Sergio.
De la anterior sala, yo creo que sí que lo he mirado todo.
No, de aquí, digo. De aquí.
Ah, vale. Hostia. podemos ir ahí enfrente. Está el cuadro. Espera, primero para allá. Porque es que si no de repente saldrá una cena y me dejaré esto sin
Why was he
mirar.
so interested in old weapons?
Armas antiguas. Hostia, chaval. Mira, por fin podemos rellenar. Ya quería yo que nos íbamos a quedar sin suministro.
El armario creo que te ha...
El armario es para esconderse, ¿no?
Ah,
Vamos, los anteriores eran para eso. Sí, solamente para esconderse.
para que te metas en el armario y salgas del armario.
Claro.
The man transforms an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
A ver qué más hay por aquí.
¿En las salas antes de esta lo miraste todo?
En teoría sí. He estado mirando todo. ¿Echáis algo en falta? Yo creo que sí. Que mire por todos los rincones. Bueno, me voy a mirar el cuadro. Y antes esto de aquí.
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
Dibujó una daga de forma torturada con todo detalle. El guardia así ve un extraño símbolo esotérico, elemento recurrente en la correspondencia que mantenía con Sara. Vale. Pues a ver. Se va a liar. ¡Tío! Sí, claro, ¿y qué más? Madre mía. ¡Qué guapo!
Mira, qué pechochita más bonita.
¿Este es el vagabundo? Es un
¿Eso también te gustaría tenerlo debajo de tu cama como la pelos?
Este no tiene pelos. Está calvo.
Ya, por eso.
Llévalo de la matanza instantánea de Spider-Man.
Ostras.
O puedo intentar justo al contrario, ¿sabes? Volver sobre mis pasos. Que si no me lo encuentro de bruces.
Yeah. This dagger looks different.
Ah, corre. ¿Puedo correr? Vamos. Venga ahí. ¡Hostia! ¡Loco! Para el cuadro. No, a mí no me cojas. Pues no me gusta el cuadro. Hola, hola, hola. ¿Qué dice, loco? ¿Me ha cortado la mano?
What's the matter with you?
Hostias. Flipendo.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Le voy a decir que he bebido demasiado y ya está, porque no está tirado.
It's nothing. I think I just drank too much.
That goes without saying. If you can't tell the difference between reality and fiction, then you're in real trouble.
No he oído nada.
I ran, screamed, broke a pane of glass. You were in the next room and you didn't hear a thing.
If I hadn't heard a thing, I'd still be in the other room. The door was blocked. I got in as soon as I could. I like to look after my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
Y me está dando información sin ningún coste. Debo hablar con ese tal Drake.
The creature. This dagger was the only weapon capable of pushing it back. If Hawkins was trying to get rid of this shambler, she might have made contact with Drake. This antique dealer has a good knowledge of the occult. I have nothing to lose by meeting him.
You've got your spunk back. Go where you want. I'm staying here to talk business with Irene.
Bueno. Está llorando. Así que nada, como podéis ver en pantalla, recordad que nos podéis seguir a través de las redes sociales. Y nada, muchas gracias pues a Iván, a Sagara, a Zorspain y también a Croft a través del chat de Twitch.
De nada.
De nada.
Y al gato también.
Al gato también, muchas gracias. Así que, pues eso. Muchas gracias por todo y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao, chao.
Adiós.
Adiós.
Adiós, corazones. Os quiero.
Miau. Vale.
También.